You actually had a neurosurgeon help? That is so cool.
I remember writing him like, okay, I think we could use you can use a matrix and just try to rebuild the brain inside. And I remember him, Emma, you can do that with a heart. But a heart is nothing but a twisted butt. Her brain is much more complicated than that.
Hey everyone! It's me, Genevieve Jones.
And I'm Cassie King, and welcome to the Skybound Insider.
Today, we've got a tasty little treat for you all. One of our favorite artists, Emma Ríos, made her way to the United States from Spain. And we could not pass up the opportunity to pop a squat with her.
Why did I say that like that? I don't know. It kind of sounds like I was...
I didn't like it.
Miss Emma Ríos has drawn for many books such as Boom Studios' Hexed, Marvel's Doctor Strange, and The Amazing Spider-Man before returning to create her own comics in 2013, of which she's worked on Pretty Deadly with Kelly Sue DeConnick, Mira with Wei Lim, and she also wrote and drew her own book, ID.
Cassie, take us to the interview, will ya?
Yeah, I'm gonna drive us right there. Now the interview. Now you play it. It's a transitional line. Hi guys, I'm here with Emma Ríos, who is an artist of so many wonderful, beautiful books. Her style is completely unique. I'm incredibly excited to sit down. Emma, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much for inviting me here.
Yeah, I'm
very glad.
I'm so excited to talk to you and hear about how you started doing what you do.
Well, I never thought comics could be a real job, actually.
Yeah, you hear that from so many people. They're like, I didn't know that this was a thing I could do.
I never thought I was going to be a professional, actually.
Yeah.
But I grew up reading comics. I think I learned how to read by reading comics. And yeah, I never thought it was a proper job, so I studied architecture.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I grew up pretty attached to comics though, because my family liked them. Mm-hmm. So I had the comics all around. So yeah, I got used to the language pretty easily, and I started doing them, I don't know, like when I was 12 or so. And when I was 15, I did my first big comic, like only pencil, but I don't know, 48 pages, like copying stuff from other authors I liked. A lot of manga thing, like I really liked Akira back then. Well, I got into the scene in Spain, like small press stuff. Mm-hmm. I was doing fanzines on my own, going to little conventions all around. And finally, yeah, I was able to enter an American market thanks to luck, like most of people, because I had some stuff on the internet. I remember Warren Ellis, like posting some stuff on his website.
Yeah.
And then I remember like having, I don't know, 20 visitors, and then started having like, I don't know, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, and a month after that happened, Boom Studios offered me a Hexed. And that moment I thought if I wanted to keep doing architecture for another 10 years, mm-hmm. or if I wanted to give comics a try. And before I even finished Hexed, I had a proposal for Marvel.
How do you find your art style differs working with a publisher like Marvel versus with a publisher like Image?
Yeah, in Image, it's not that I have the pressure or mm-hmm. such a pressure regarding deadlines. Mm-hmm. I don't need to suddenly write my editor and tell him, okay, I need an inker because I can finish 3 pages. I don't have to be that obsessed with that stuff. Mm-hmm. For me, like, yeah, deadlines, it's affecting me a lot. When I quit Marvel, one of the reasons was because I wasn't very happy with the result of my art, mm-hmm. with how it was looking, because I was like putting more and more pressure on me, like to work faster. Mm-hmm. But I really needed to stop and try to think about where I wanted to go. Mm-hmm. So when I started Pretty Deadly, I think I cleaned a bit more my style and tried to use a thinner line, try to be more accurate. Even if, yeah, from time to time with the violence and all, like splashes all the time, it's like full of splatters or blood and all that. But it's like, still, I think the line is a bit thinner, and I think that the work you can see is a bit more calm mm-hmm. in comparison. And also, yeah, well, in Image, I'm writing, I'm doing my own comics again, just like when I was in Spain, like working on a small press.
Yeah.
It was a long way to get to the point I really wanted to be mm-hmm. again.
You know, you work with some iconic writers and you give the visuals and you are a co-creator of those books and And then also between you and your colorists on Pretty Deadly, that's Jordy, right?
Jordy Ballard.
Yeah. Wanted to know about those relationships and about how you find as an artist it is working with scripts and ownership of that art and really how to communicate and create a whole picture together.
Yeah. For me, like working with somebody else is like, I don't know, writing love letters to that person. Like somehow it's as if like I really want to surprise them, or I really want them to be inspired by my stuff, or I really want to give them something in exchange of the inspiration they are giving me. And that happens to me with Calisto and with Hui as well in Mirror. The connection is amazing, and it's as if you put more pressure on yourself to work even better. I feel at this moment I feel I don't want to work with anybody else than Calisto or Hui for the rest of my life. Calisto or Hui and me alone, you know, like trying to combine this is like a perfect moment.
So on ID, which is an image book, you are the writer and artist and really playing all the roles. Yeah. How was that transition from being an artist to being a writer? Or you mentioned like that's what you were doing when you were younger. So
yeah, I used to write and draw my own stuff when I was doing small press at home. But when you try to look for a job, or when you are thinking about collaborating with a foreign market, like, for example, American comics, it's pretty much easier, like, as an artist, because art is a universal language. But writing, I need to write in English. The language barrier, even if I can. Fortunately, I can write better than I speak, but you know that is like it's still like a barrier, psychological barrier for me, like to dare to write in English. So that happened because of Island, and because of Brandon, and because we were like pushing ourselves, like to be super pretentious in Island, and try to do like difficult stuff. Or, you know. So it was like the perfect moment for me, like, okay, now I'm here, Pretty Deadly worked really well, Image is supporting me a lot, and we have Island, which is precisely for trying to push ourselves forward. So I decided, okay, I'm going to write, let's do it. And it was something like that. And yeah, it was a bit scary. When I was doing it, I didn't realize it had such a political charge.
Yeah, it does.
But it does, and it meant, it feels really nice, like knowing that it meant a lot for other people. But when I was writing it, it's like I was thinking about that I was a bit worried about, a bit boring. I was a bit bored of, you know, more traditional characters like men, women in their 30s, white, and all that. So I just wanted to try some stuff. And for example, the character of Noah, if I was going to talk about swapping bodies or about changing to a different body, it was like super normal for me, like to have a trans person there. Yeah. And for me it was really special because it was the first book in my life that I wrote in English directly. So
yeah, and it's it is such a brave book to write in English. I think specifically like that story is both political. It's also very scientific. Like there's just a lot of like technical jargon.
Yeah, that was very fun. But that's because I'm quite a nerd.
Yeah,
I really like.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, sometimes I read scientific divulgation, and also because I really like hard sci-fi, and I always thought that was amazing. Like, how do these writers do this stuff? Yeah, like they know a lot of stuff. So I really wanted to do, if I was going to do some dystopian or sci-fi regarding like some medical stuff, or I really wanted to do it properly. And I remember like looking for a neurosurgeon, like, okay, I need to talk with a doctor about that, and he's not going to take me seriously at all. But this guy who helped me, Miguel, was amazing.
You actually had a neurosurgeon help? That is so cool.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was. I remember writing him like, okay, I think we could use you can use a matrix and just try to rebuild the brain inside. And I remember him telling me stuff like, Emma, you can do that with a heart, but a heart is nothing but a twisted butt. Her brain is much more complicated than that. And it was like, okay, yeah, heart is just muscle,
only a
brain is
neurosurgeon
like
could tell you.
neurons and
If you liked what you saw, go check out some of her work and come back here to let us know what you think.
Per usual, don't forget to like and subscribe, do the comment stuff that Cassie just talked about, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.